Imagine walking up to a coding boot camp or, a tech academy.
Right, but one of those sleek urban ones.
Yeah, exactly. And instead of handing over a credit card for like a $15,000 tuition fee, you hand the instructor a pumpkin.
Just a literal pumpkin.
A literal freshly harvested pumpkin.
That is amazing.
Right. And today we're exploring a scenario for you where that isn't just some quirky marketing stunt, but the actual foundational economic model of a rural education revolution.
Which is just so cool.
It really is. We are looking at excerpts from this fascinating account called Rural Education Revolution, the Barter Academy model.
Yeah.
And the mission of this deep dive is to explore how this single individual is trying to completely reverse the rural brain drain.
Right, by colliding modern remote tech work with an ancient agrarian economic system.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this from the ground up because, the bootstrapping here is just fascinating.
What's fascinating here is how this model completely strips away, the pretension of modern tech education.
Oh, totally.
Like, we're so conditioned to believe that digital innovation requires massive venture capital.
Right, and sleek urban spaces.
Exactly. Scaling to millions of users overnight. But this initiative in the village of Erikarevla proves that true innovation often looks like going backward to community roots.
Yeah, going backward to go forward. So to start, before you can teach a single line of code, you need a physical space.
Right. You need a building.
And more importantly, you need the trust of a rural agricultural community. So the founder wanted to open a branch of the Antariami VA Academy in this village.
VA standing for virtual assistant.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But they had absolutely no building. And they didn't just rent some cheap commercial stall. Get this. They waited over a week specifically to secure the house of the village head.
The Munasabu.
Yes, the Munasabu. It was super old, but the founder just loved it.
Well, yeah, because operating out of the village head's former home, that's a deeply symbolic real estate choice,
Oh, for sure.
In a rural community, authority and history are completely intertwined.
Right. So by placing this brand new, somewhat alien concept of a tech academy inside the physical shell of traditional village leadership,
you instantly ground it in local legitimacy.
Exactly. You anchor the new technology in the old foundation.
And that foundation was basically step one of this massive trust-building exercise. Wow. Because the networking that followed was fierce.
Oh, yeah.
It diverges entirely from typical startup culture. They start navigating the local hierarchy. They meet secretariat employees. They get introduced to a prominent local named Bhaskar.
Right, a key figure.
Yeah, and that eventually leads them to Rathnagi.
Rathnagi. He's the gatekeeper, right?
Exactly. He's the principal overseeing everything from elementary to higher secondary students in the area.
Right. So if you're going to introduce an entirely new educational paradigm into a closed ecosystem, you have to win over the existing educational leadership.
You have to get the principal on board.
You do.
Yeah.
And the founder managed to impress Rathnagi not by overwhelming him with Silicon Valley buzzwords.
Right. No cloud-based synergy talk. Exactly.
Yeah.
But by offering direct, clear answers about their computer teaching methodology.
And what's crucial is how they explained it, They pitched the flaws of the current rural education system and their solution to literally everyone in the village.
Literally everyone.
I mean it. From the guy running the local cool drink stand to the mechanics fixing tire punctures on the dusty road.
Wow.
Yeah, the local RMP doctor, the secretariat staff, a small hotel owner. Every single person they crossed paths with got the full pitch.
It's incredible.
But I got to ask you, is this aggressive networking just about getting students, or is it actually a deliberate strategy to dismantle the intimidation factor of tech in a rural farming space?
Oh, it's absolutely a deliberate strategy. Sociologically, this is brilliant.
How so?
Well, the traditional barrier to entry for technology in rural areas isn't just financial, right? It's psychological.
Right, it feels foreign.
Exactly. Tech is viewed as something reserved for the urban elite. But by explaining the why to the cool drink vendor and the local doctor alike, the founder democratizes the very concept of tech education.
Before the doors even open.
Yes. It creates community-wide buy-in. It treats the tire repairman with the same intellectual respect as the school principal.
I love that. So building on that massive community pitch, you'd think opening day would be an absolute stampede.
You would certainly hope so.
Yeah. So they opened on an auspicious day, June 11th. The hype is built, and yet Exactly one girl joins the class.
Just one.
Just one. And her profile is incredibly telling. She came from a poor financial background. She was doing her degree privately and working just to stand on her own 2 feet.
She was really grinding.
She really was. And the founder's reaction to this single enrollment sets the tone for everything. They immediately promised her that if she studied well, she would be given a teaching job right there at the institute.
Just an instant commitment.
Yeah, but wait, I have to push back on this a little bit. Offering a teaching job on day 1 to your very first financially struggling student, isn't that incredibly risky for the academic quality of a brand new tech institute?
I mean, from a traditional HR perspective, it absolutely looks reckless.
Right. You don't even know her grades yet.
True. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, this is a profound empowerment strategy.
Right.
The founder isn't just looking for tuition.
What are they looking for?
They're looking for local stakeholders. Giving this girl a guaranteed pathway to employment shifts her instantly from being a passive consumer of education to a future leader of it.
Okay, yeah. You're creating a success story from day 1.
Exactly. It tells the village, we aren't just here to extract tuition and leave. We're here to employ you. And if she succeeds, she becomes their best marketing tool.
That makes a lot of sense. And speaking of marketing, the founder also had this deeply ingrained habit of just stopping kids on the road.
Yes, the street-level pedagogy.
Yeah. They'd casually ask what the kids were studying and then easily explain how learning computers would actually help their regular schooling.
Which is so smart. It's contextual learning. You don't tell a kid struggling with math to learn computers to work for a tech giant in 10 years.
Wait, that's too abstract.
You tell them that learning a spreadsheet will help them check their math homework tonight. It connects global tech to immediate local friction points.
But, all this enthusiasm eventually hits a wall. We are talking about an impoverished agrarian setting. Finding motivated students is one thing, but how do they actually pay for this?
Right, the cash barrier.
Yeah, because if a family's capital is all tied up in the harvest, they don't have liquid cash for tech tuition. And here's where it gets really interesting.
Oh, yeah. This is my favorite part.
When asked about fees, the founder's response is simply, pay what you can.
Which is radical enough on its own.
But because the locals are farmers, the founder explicitly tells them they can pay in kind. Pumpkins, bottle gourds, ridge gourds, or local fruits.
It's literally a farm-to-table tuition model.
It is. In the software world, we talk about flexible subscription models or sliding scale fees. But this is rooted in ancient agrarian reality.
And the brilliance is how the founder contextualized this for the locals. They didn't frame it as charity.
Right, which would be patronizing.
Extremely. Instead, they tapped into the ancient village system where money was historically scarce and barter was normal. They reminded the villagers of the Gurukul tradition.
Oh, where locals would bring the guru a year's supply of grain.
Exactly, or whatever they could spare. The founder specifically reminded them of the time before the Sankranti festival.
The major harvest festival.
Right. And during the Satyanarayana Vratam, where people traditionally offer the first fruits of their harvest to their teachers.
Wow, so it completely rewrites the psychology of the transaction.
It really does. Because if you demand cash from a subsistence farmer, you create a barrier and marginalize them.
Right.
But if you offer for free, you strip them of their dignity.
Right.
We value what we sacrifice for.
So this removes the cash barrier but maintains the psychological value.
Exactly. The students and parents are still proudly paying for the service, but doing so in a currency they naturally produce with their own hands.
Pumpkins for programming. I love it. But obviously, if they're accepting gourds for classes, this isn't some get-rich-quick scheme.
Definitely not. The founder explicitly states, this is not for money.
So what is the ultimate end game of this entire operation? Because they aren't hoarding vegetables to become a billionaire.
No. The core mission is structural. Kids shouldn't have to leave the village.
The brain drain we mentioned earlier.
Right. They can learn at a low cost and work for domestic or international companies right from home.
And the specific metric they're aiming for is fascinating. The goal is to train just 3% to 5% of the village population in work-from-home models.
And secure them jobs.
Yeah. And their target audience is radically inclusive to hit that number. Housewives, working people, and children above the 6th grade.
Teaching them at convenient times, too, at their own pace.
Right, working around the agrarian schedule. But, for you listening, we usually think of work from home as a luxury perk for urban corporate workers.
We do.
So I have to ask, could a remote workforce of just 3 to 5% actually be enough to sustain or transform an entire village economy? without forcing everyone to move to a city.
This raises an important question about macroeconomic multipliers.
Okay, break that down for us.
Well, if 5% of a village earns urban or even international tech salaries, but they physically stay in the village.
Where the cost of living is way lower.
Exactly. They take that capital and they spend it locally. They buy more from the cool drink shop.
They pay the tire puncture repairman?
Yes. They eat at the small hotel. They visit the local RMP doctor. Suddenly, global capital is flowing directly into a micro-local economy.
Wow. So it economically revitalizes the entire community from the inside out.
You don't need 100% adoption to revitalize a town. You just need that 5% to create a sustainable multiplier effect.
The tech workers become the economic anchor for the agricultural workers. That's just incredible.
It's a beautifully designed system.
It really is. I mean, to briefly recap this entire journey for you listening, we started with building grassroots trust by pitching the local tire repair guy.
Right.
Then empowering that very first struggling student on day one.
Giving her a stake in the academy.
Yeah. And then using ancient barter systems, literally trading pumpkins to bypass modern financial barriers.
All to achieve that grand vision of a 5% local work-from-home economy.
It's amazing. And it leaves me with this final thought to mull over. We tend to view global tech innovation as something that happens in these massive, gleaming urban campuses, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But what if the future of the global digital workforce actually relies on micro-academies in remote villages? Places trading coding skills for bottle gourds.
It completely flips the script.
It does. How might that force us to completely redefine our assumptions about where innovation actually happens? It's definitely something to think about.
For sure.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you enjoyed exploring this as much as we did, and we'll catch you next time.